Well, it's a gloomy autumn like October 7th, and that date is, of course, auspicious for bad reasons. And I send out my condolences and absolute support to my Jewish friends and family, and the community here at large in Canada and the US, to let you all know that you have our support, and we just want an end to this terrible, terrible war. But that's not really why I'm here to talk today. I just did want to mention it because it is very important. I wanted to talk a little bit about cultivating your creative muscle as an entrepreneur, a business leader, an executive. I think for a lot of us, creativity is something that is maybe it's kind of had to be left behind, because when you run a business, or you're leading a large team, working a lot of hours trying to build something, whether it's your own company or working for somebody else, unless the job is innately creative, it's really, really tough to cultivate and focus on creative pursuits. I think back to when I was a kid, and it was really quite funny because if you asked me as a child what I was going to be when I grew up, my thought was that I was going to be an actress. And I spent a lot of time fantasizing about becoming an actress. And of course, I also spent a lot of time as a child and as a young woman in artistic pursuits, such as acting, singing. I did a lot of singing on stage, dancing, and even piano, and taking it rather seriously for most of my high school years. And what's interesting is when I went to business school, I still continued with my dance. I did some really cool courses through I think it was the Ballet Company of Canada or something like that. We had a big ballet company out of Ottawa. Anyhow, those were exciting courses that I took during the summer because they were very intense, and we had a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But after that, when I got into working, I basically had to let all of that fall away. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of you. There may have been things you did creatively, painting, sculpting, maybe arts and crafts, and maybe you too had to put it away. So it's almost like this part of yourself, like this room, this beautiful room in your house, which has so much potential, so much possibilities, great windows, great lighting, great structure, but you haven't given it any attention whatsoever. And it's just this room that collects dust, and nothing really ever happens in there. It's empty, no furniture. It's not even painted a color that would really magnify its beauty. There's no fabric, no beautiful curtains or paintings on the walls, or cozy cushions or couches to sit and enjoy creative pursuits in there. And that's kind of like your creative talents, or my creative talents. They're kind of just left to nothingness. And in recent years, I've thought a lot about this. And a few years ago, I had a really terrible cycling accident where I almost died. And I I would say that after I had that accident, I changed. My brain changed. The way I see things has changed. And 3 years after this accident, I'm at this point where I want to cultivate my creative talents. And I mean, I have written a book. I have, and I do a lot of writing, mostly on LinkedIn. I haven't done anything on Substack yet. And of course, I have this YouTube channel, the Massad method, where I share, knowledge and insights on how to be a great CEO or business leader or entrepreneur. But I've decided I'm going to cultivate my creative talents. And what I'm doing, which I want to share with you, is I'm doing this book called The Complete Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, Creativity as a Spiritual Practice. And I didn't know this, but I think Julia Cameron, I have to look her up, is married to one of the Scorseses. I don't know if it's Martin Scorsese, but she's apparently written several plays and screenplays for film and stage. And she wanted to create this course to help people develop their creative muscle. So it's a really thick book, as you can see, but it's not intended, you're not intended to read it all at once. The idea is to read a chapter a week and to practice the exercises. So one of the first things she instructs you to do is what's called the morning pages. And the morning pages are basically free-form thought that you put to paper first thing in the morning, and you have to commit to 3 pages. Now, I kind of gamed the system because I got this tiny little notebook, and I've been writing in it almost every morning or sometime during the day. But I bought a bigger notebook today so that I could actually write more, because it's benefiting me. And it's really a form of meditation, because you don't think about anything. You just write whatever comes to mind. You don't try to censor any of the writing or critique it. You just write in free form. And it's amazing how good it makes you feel and how much it clears your mind. It's really cool. And then she has another exercise she asks you to do. So that's every day. The other exercise she asks you to do once a week is called the artist's date. So it's a date you make with yourself to pursue some kind of artistic endeavor. So it could be going to a museum. It could be just cooking with some great music and trying to create something really special. It could be sitting down and writing something if you're a writer, or playing the piano, or going to a bookstore and exploring, books that you'd like to read or write. It could be also, fashion. Like fashion is kind of my art too. I'm very into fashion, both for home and also women's clothing and makeup, and artistry around makeup and so forth. So today, after my conference, I spent kind of a leisurely, I would say, hour and a half at Sephora and Shoppers Drug Mart, looking at makeup. As I mentioned earlier, I use ChatGPT to tell me what colors would suit me, and to give me the exact names of lipsticks and blushes and eyeshadows and things like that. So I took my lists with me, and I went to the store and I played with color, looked at the different products, and dreamt about reinventing myself. I dreamt about utilizing color to feel really good, feel sexy when I'm with my husband, feel put together and really accomplished, reflecting kind of how I feel inside, outside. And it was really fun, really fun. I had such a good time, and it was such a stress reliever. It was kind of very meditative in a way because I was just in the moment looking at colors and swatches and looking at my lists and matching them up. And it was extremely relaxing, extremely relaxing. And then after that, I went to HomeSense and got some minor things for the house, such as, pumpkin spice candles and the aromatherapy for rooms, where you put the sticks in the oil. And I, bought a few wine glasses and a nice runner for our Thanksgiving dinner, which is coming up pretty soon. And yeah, I just kind of used my imagination and thought about how I'm going to decorate for Thanksgiving. And tonight I have to actually, this is more business-like, not creative as such, but I have to take my recipes and translate them into shopping lists so I can do my grocery shopping tomorrow rather than waiting, on the weekend to do it because everybody's coming over on Sunday. But anyhow, I did those two sets of exercises, both daily and this one on a weekly basis, and it really recharged me, and it motivated me to record this video, which I'm sharing with you. And yes, I just want to encourage you to discover those parts of yourself that you've let go of because you've had other priorities, whether it be work, your business, your family, your husband, your children, your workouts, whatever. Find some time to explore those creative talents and gifts that you've been given that maybe you've discarded or you've just completely ignored. Because I really believe that when you access all of your talents, it just expands your competency in other areas, like your business, because it brings that level of creativity to perhaps business ventures, team meetings, problem solving. And the other important thing it does is it relaxes you. I know it's relaxing me. It's making me feel very calm and very optimistic. And I just wanted to share that simple insight that I've gained. Perhaps you might be able to benefit from it as well. And with that, I'm going to say good night and wish you all a wonderful evening. And as you can see, I've got my pumpkin spice candle in the background, and I'm about to sit down and have some lasagna and a glass of red wine and watch some Halloween/autumn movies. Nothing too gory because I'm not into that, but something kind of mystical, maybe suspenseful, something like that. So anyways, thanks for listening, and I look forward to sharing more on my creative journey. See you soon. Bye.